back with Team GB. As a professional athlete, there is no greater honour than representing your country at any level, no matter what that sport is. For me, that is no different. To be able to have done what I've done with this group of guys has brought me the highest of highs in my career, and if you'd have told a 21-year-old Ben that he was going to play at the highest level of international hockey against the likes of Canada, USA, Finland, the Czech Republic, and against players like Patrick Kane, Jack Eichel and Jack Hughes, all while being alongside some of his best friends and people that he's grown up with, he probably would have just laughed at you and said that you were nuts. However, you weren't nuts, you were right. That's exactly what I've got to do for the past 7 years. Throughout that time I've had bronze medals and silver medals, which I'm sure when I'm older, I'll probably be proud of, but at the time they suck. But more importantly, I've had 3 gold medals and 4 appearances in Pool A, which is cool as hell. That was my wildest dream growing up. It's crazy that I've actually lived it. The GB team that I joined as a young overweight 20-year-old evolved so rapidly after the first few years of darkness, but is now starting to transition and we're seeing a bit of a changing of the guard. Ben O'Connor has been with me, or at least around me, in some form for my whole playing career, ever since my first game as a 6-year-old for the Sheffield Samurai, right up until he retires from pro hockey at the end of this tournament. It's going to be emotional seeing him after the last game in Romania. Jonathan Phillips, our leader for so many of those years, retired from pro hockey 2 years ago after we won the gold medal in Nottingham, and the ones left are simply getting older, myself included. We all know that one day our careers will come to an end, and I think you get to a point where you suddenly realise that you have less time ahead of you than what's already passed by, and that your days playing are simply numbered. That's why this year with GB was supposed to be my last. I spoke earlier about how representing my country has single-handedly been the greatest honour of my career, but on a personal level, the greatest honour in life for me is that I get to be a husband to my amazing wife and a dad to the funniest, most beautiful little girl that there is. I simply can't justify spending weeks away from my daughter with no pay to show for it. This year was the hardest it's ever been putting her to bed the night before I left. And at that point, it had made my mind up. It's time to let someone else take the baton and run with it. But after having so much fun with this awesome group of guys, and my wife and parents telling me I have to do one more year, then I think I am going to maybe do that one more and finish at the top. Don't get me wrong, I intend to play hockey with Cardiff for as long as I can, but for GB, no matter what, it's almost at an end. I've still not quite decided exactly on what I'm going to do just yet, as next year we don't finish until June, and I won't be able to do all this with Taya. One thing I do know though, is that when I do retire from GB, it's going to be so hard knowing I'm not going to pull on that jersey ever again. That is right up until Taya wakes up that first morning, I see her face, and I remember that time with her is worth way more than anything else in life.